February 1986, Palermo, Sicily. The Italian government built this courtroom from blast-proof concrete, specifically designed to withstand racket attacks. Inside these steel cages sat 475 men in tailored suits and handcuffs. These were the top bosses, hitmen, and financiers of the Sicilian Mafia. For decades, they operated on a single core principle: terror through invisibility. They were so well hidden that high-ranking Italian politicians openly claimed the Mafia was a myth invented by foreign journalists. The Maxi Trial was designed to destroy that illusion, dragging a highly structured criminal empire out of the shadows and into the justice system. To understand how they got there, we have to look back to the late 1970s. A rural faction led by Salvatore Totò Riina launched a bloody internal coup to seize control of Cosa Nostra's billion-dollar global heroin network. Riina quickly escalated beyond murdering rival mobsters. He launched an open war on the state, gunning down the Sicilian president, shooting Palermo's police chief, and ambushing Italy's top anti-terrorism general. Traditional policing failed to stop the slaughter. Investigators treated each assassination as an isolated street dispute, failing to see the organizational logic connecting the bodies. This blindness was the goal. Riina used daily, kinetic terror to keep the Italian state paralyzed, ensuring no one would dare investigate the heroin trade. In response to the slaughter, Chief Magistrate Antonino Capinetto broke from traditional procedure to build a specialized unit, the Antimafia Pool. This visualization shows how the pool operated. Capinetto built a unit of 4 judges who shared all intelligence. If Riina ordered a hit on one judge, the trial wouldn't collapse because the surviving magistrates possessed identical knowledge. At the center of this pool was Giovanni Falcone. He realized that simply identifying the gunmen pulling the triggers would never dismantle the larger organization. Falcone pioneered a new strategy. He tracked heroin cash through bank records across Europe and America, following the money from street-level distribution directly to Swiss accounts owned by the bosses. This financial tracking paired perfectly with a new Italian law known as Article 416 bis. It made the act of belonging to a mafia organization the specific crime, legally recognizing Cosa Nostra as a centralized empire rather than a collection of random gangs. The pool had built a legal trap. But to prosecute that empire, they needed an insider willing to swear under oath that the structure existed. They found that insider in Tommaso Buscetta. A high-ranking veteran boss, Buscetta was arrested in Brazil and extradited to Italy, seeking vengeance after Riina's faction murdered his 2 sons, his brother and his son-in-law. In July 1984, Buscetta sat down with Falcone and broke Omertà, the sacred vow of silence. This chart shows the pyramid Buscetta mapped: street soldiers, captains, capped by a governing council, la cupola. His testimony proved no assassination happened without council approval, allowing prosecutors to legally charge bosses like Riina with murders they never committed. When the trial finally commenced, the cornered bosses inside the bunker reacted with chaos. They spat at cameras, shouted death threats, and faked insanity by sewing their own lips shut with safety pins. It didn't work. On December 16, 1987, the judges handed down 338 convictions. They legally proved the existence of Cosa Nostra, ending the illusion of invisibility. The mob assumed those verdicts would quietly collapse on appeal. But in January 1992, Italy's Supreme Court definitively upheld the convictions. Backed into a corner, Riina declared open war on the Republic. On May 23, 1992, assassins packed 500 kilograms of military-grade TNT beneath highway drains outside Palermo. The explosion obliterated Giovanni Falcone's convoy, killing him, his wife, and 3 bodyguards. Just 57 days later, a car bomb outside an apartment complex killed Falcone's closest colleague, Paolo Borsellino, along with 5 police officers. Riina expected this violence to force the state to negotiate. Instead, it backfired. Tens of thousands of Sicilians marched through Palermo chanting "Basta" and waving white sheets from their balconies. The Italian government responded by flooding the island with 7,000 army troops and locking convicted bosses in hyper-restrictive isolation. They systematically hunted every leader involved, finally capturing Totò Riina in January 1993. Falcone and Borsellino paid for the Maxi Trial with their lives. Yet, by demonstrating how to track money through foreign accounts and map criminal hierarchies as a single legal entity, they established the methodology that modern international task forces still use to dismantle syndicates worldwide.